This is the news. We have breaking developments to report. Stay with us for more details.
Are calling him to make a deal on how to end the war. But he told them that it is already too late, that they claim to be tough, that they want to fight. So, let's get into battle. Before we, finally bring it to a conclusion, listen to that very statement from Donald J. Trump, and we shall conclude from there.
And before we begin, I think I will say a few words about what's going on with respect to our operation in the country of Iran. The United States military, together with the wonderful Israeli partners, continues to totally demolish the enemy far ahead of schedule and at levels that people have never seen before, actually. We're destroying more of Iran's missiles and drone capability every single hour, knocking them out like nobody thought was possible. As soon as they set off a missile, within 4 minutes, the launcher gets hit. They don't know what's happening. But we have the greatest military anywhere in the world. Their Navy is gone. 24 ships in 3 days. That's a lot of ships. Their anti-aircraft weapons are gone. So they have no air force. They have no air defense. All of their airplanes are gone. Their communications are gone. Missiles are gone. Launches are gone. About 60% and 64% respectively. Other than that, they're doing quite well. I said, what's left? But they're tough, and they want to fight. And they're calling, they're saying, how do we make a deal? I said, you're being a little bit late, and we want to fight now more than they do. We've had 47 years, depending on the way you count it, but 47 years of horror with this group. And when you see somebody walking down the street without their legs, without the arms, whose face is so badly affected and hurt, it mostly came from 95% Soleimani and Iran, and we, other presidents, lived with it. I didn't live with it, and so our people are doing a great job. Again, the greatest military anyone's seen.
So finally, one thing has been established. Iran is tough. They have been preparing for this war many years ago. They invested so much on, arms and ammunition. The drones they have today, which is a very cheap drone, is very difficult to intercept. Their ballistic missiles, both the short range and the long range ballistic missiles, they have been, working tirelessly to get to this level of strength. However, with the combined special air forces of the United States of America and that of Israel, they have succeeded in decapitating, Iranian forces to a very large extent. Yes, not completely yet, but to a very large extent. Like I said from the previous videos, Iran will fight to survive. They will fight to prove a point that they are powerful. And the United States of America will fight alongside with Israel to make sure that the military operation, the military objective for this very operation, this very action is established, which according to the Israeli Prime Minister, that this war is a means to an end, not an end to a means. You know what I mean? So the objective is to ensure that Iran does not progress further in arming themselves with nuclear warheads, having the capacity to produce ballistic missiles, both the short range and the long range, which will pose a very big threat, not only to the Middle East, but sponsorship of radical, Islamic jihadist terrorist group across the globe, whether you like it or not. There are people sponsoring all of these terrorists, operating, especially within the Sahel. Having established that, concerning the drone that Iran is currently using, which is a Shahed 136 or 139, which is very powerful, very cheap drone that is less than $5,000. Unfortunately for them, United States of America has copied this very technology. They picked some pieces of it from Ukraine-Russian war, and then through reverse engineering was able to even upgrade that very drone. And currently, US has what they call the Lucas drone, which cost about $20,000. And the funny thing about this very new drone from the USA is that the cost of intercepting and destroying this drone is more expensive than the cost of the drone itself. And as we speak, that very drone has been deployed down to Iran. Is also waging war against them. So the United States of America has launched several attacks, several strikes against Iranian ballistic missile underground storage, underground manufacturing facilities, and all of that. And USA is not interested in sending troops, boot on ground in Iran. Rather, they are trying to do that by proxy, by getting this Iraqi Kurdish team involved, which some reports are already saying that they are already there. Some are saying they are not there yet. So it's a very dicey time. There is no doubt, not acknowledging the fact that Iran also has a very strong military, up to about 600,000 servicemen. However, United States of America possesses 1.3 million servicemen. So if you now begin to talk about engaging a full-blown war, it will be disastrous. Iran may not be able to survive. But this is not a full-blown war, like I said in my previous videos. It's more like a means to an end, not an end to a means. Basically focusing on the decapitation of Iran, their capacity in producing these dangerous weapons and all of that. So, but ultimately, just as China is stepping in with their special envoy for bargain on how to de-escalate and then chart a new course of peace, I sincerely hope that people like Putin, the Russian president, will also come up. Because the world needs to be peaceful. If every country becomes at liberty to produce any type of nuclear warhead that they so wish, before you know it, that will be the end of humanity. That will be the end of mankind. That will be the end of civilization. The moment these weapons get into the hands of these radical terrorists we are talking about, before you know it, they will begin to launch it. Because they believe that they will be welcomed into paradise with 72 virgins and all of that. I'm not trying to mock any religion, but we have to state things the way it is. Otherwise, the terrorists we have in Nigeria, what are they fighting for? What is their objective? What is their reason? Why they're continuously unaliving people day in, day out? So, somebody has to rise up to the responsibility. That is exactly what United States of America is doing today. Well, like I said, peace is more better than living in pieces. Let peace reign. I am praying fervently in my heart that a time will come sooner or later when there will be a roundtable discussion so that all of this, rascalities going on will come to an end. Day your day, make I day my day. Don't produce nuclear weapons. Don't produce ballistic missiles. What are you doing with every of those things? Now that USA has tested their doomsday missile, which is called the ICBM, Intercontinental Ballistic Missile. It is called Minuteman 3. So 1 second man or one minute man. You know what I mean? Which is a very powerful, strong deterrent to any type of nuclear warheads across the globe to make sure that their functionality is still intact, and also begin to look at how to improve on those, missiles technologically, even though USA is already working for a replacement to that very doomsday intercontinental ballistic missiles. So we hope that